What we're going to do now is add the fourth step, and this is like the big step. This is what people, when people say factor, this is usually what they're talking about. Okay, so, right, we have 3 steps so far on that list. This is step 4. And right, remember the first step was put it in order. The second step is check for a greatest common factor. And then the third step was if there's 4 terms. So now the fourth step is if there are 3 terms. And so if there are 3 terms, what you're going to do is something that I've seen called, and I call it, the A times C method. And the A times C is referring to that the generic quadratic function looks like that. Okay, and the first step of this method is in the title, A times C. And so then what we're going to do is take the coefficient of the x squared term and multiply it by the C term. And then we're going to go from there. So I don't know that writing the steps out makes sense. You'll pick it up pretty quickly, I think. Remember, our goal is to make something that we can deal with, which is 4 terms right now. Because if we can get it as 4 terms, then we can group the first 2 and the last 2 and just do like what we did yesterday. Is that okay? All right, so then I'm on the flip the page over. And I'm just looking at number 1 here. So the first thing is it in descending order? Yeah, it is. Is there a greatest common factor? No. Okay, so now there's 3 terms. So right now what I want you to do is actually write down what these things are. And these things being what is A, what is B, and then what is C. And so then what is A in this case?
1.
Just 1. You just want the coefficient. What's B?
8.
Yeah, 8, positive 8. And then C, 12. So again, the method is called A times C. So then that's the first thing you should do is, all this is off to the side or in your mind or wherever it needs to be. So we're going to say, okay, A times C, 1 times 12. And what does that give us? It gives us 12. Now we're going to think of factors of 12, one of which is 1 and 12. 6 and 2. And then there's another set. 3 and 4, right. And then that's all of them, yeah? Okay? So if they factor, and everything I will give you will factor, then one of these sets add or subtract to give you B.
Yes.
So which set?
2
2 and
and 6.
6.
So I have to add to get B.
So you have to add or subtract to give you B. Okay? So then 2 and 6 are the 1. And so what we're going to do, again, we want to make it like it was yesterday. So we're going to rewrite our original problem, but instead of writing the 8x, we're going to write 2x plus 6x. And now it's what we did yesterday. So how do you deal with that? Group them.
It'll be X. And then X. And then times, or plus 2. And then 6.
that okay with everyone?
And x plus 2 times x plus 6.
There it is, right? When people say factoring, this is what they're talking about. Okay? And it's real easy, right? The connection is, we better be, that's supposed to be a pointer. Oh, they used to have a lightsaber. Where's my lightsaber? Oh, man. No more lightsabers. Anyway, we should be able to FOIL this and get this, right? And it's easy. X times x is x squared. X times 6 is 6x. 2 times x is 2x. 2 times 6 is 12, right? We add those middle terms together. There we go. That's how it works. Is that okay? All right, we're going to do a couple more here. So let's look at number 5.
Did you factor out 27? Are you always factoring out the middle?
You're talking about breaking it up.
Yeah.
You're always breaking up B. But don't do it that way. That's like, you want to think about the factors before you think about but yeah, you're rewriting B all the time. But it's not 27 in this case, and that's why it's very important for you to always do that first step, which is to put it in order. So, right, this is not in order. Does that make sense, everyone? Okay, so then first step is to rewrite it like this.
Oh, okay. I see.
Okay, so yeah, right, so it's not just the middle term.
Right.
Okay,
I see what you're saying.
okay. And so,
So it'd be, we break up 6x.
but don't do it that way, because then there's too many numbers to do it that way. You always think of your factors first. Okay, so what's A? 1. What's B? Negative 6. What's C? Negative 27. The signs matter, okay? So then we're going to say, okay, well, 1 times negative 27 is negative 27. And now I'm going to point something out that also negative 1 times positive 27 is an option. What else is an option?
9 times 3.
Okay, but it's got to be negative 3 times 9 or 3 times negative 9 because it's negative 27.
Right.
Is that okay with everyone? Now one of these, because there's no more, so one of them has to add or subtract, I guess better to think of add, together to give you negative 6.
So then negative 3 times 9.
Plus 3 times 3. Yeah.
Yeah, so why is it 3 and negative 9 and not the other way?
Because if you put the 9 in front, it's basically 9 minus 3.
You got to get negative 6, okay? So this is something you got to watch out for, right? You got to watch your signs. So it has to be this one. Is that okay with everyone? All right, so now, yes, we're going to rewrite it, but not with negative 6, right? We're going to say, and it doesn't matter which order you write these in, it will work.
So that means, oh, wait, no. You factor them out.
You take an X out.
And then x, and then minus 9. Then you bring that down. And then that would be 30. And x, and then or plus negative 9. Or minus negative 9.
And so then finally we get to
X minus 9.
your factoring. It's like the first time you rode a bike. Oh my God, you're doing it. Just like I did. Didn't even know. Oh, you're doing it. I want to do. No, there's another one. I want to do number 8 also. Or 7 or 8. Which one do you want to do? Which one? 8. All right, is it in descending order?
Yes.
Yes. Is there a greatest common factor?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is. What is it?
1 times 2.
Well, so just 2. Yeah, 2. Okay, so then we're going to take a 2 out because we're trying to factor all the way. So now what's left over?
A squared. That's 16.
That is.
What is 8A?
Plus 16.
Okay, so we're done with that 2, but it better show up in your answer. Okay, if you need to draw an arrow to remind yourself, then that's what you should do. I always just rewrite it 2. Okay,
So then now you plug that into like the A, B, C.
so now we're doing A, B, C. So what's A, B, and C then?
A would be 1. And then B would be 8 or negative 8.
Negative 8, good.
And C would be 16.
Okay, so then we're doing 1 times 16 to get 16. And now just like before, like there's more than one option here because we didn't talk about this on the first problem, but wouldn't it also be true that -1 and -16 work? Okay, and so what else works? Okay, so I'm gonna list them out right now. Okay, so it'd be 2 and 8, or -2 and -8, and then he said 4 and 4, and -4 and -4. Okay, so what you're not being asked to do is come up with all the factors. You don't have to list them out. You need the factors that add to give you -8. So as soon as you know what it is, you can stop. You don't have to, like, no one's checking to see if you know every factor of whatever the number is.
So it'd be -4 and -4.
Why is it -4 and -4?
Because you add both negative things.
To get to -8, it has to be -8. So you got to choose the right one. Okay, so then we're going to rewrite this as a squared minus 4a plus 16. Okay, so then
So then the A and then A minus 4. And you drop that down.
okay, so minus. So now we're factoring out a negative.
In -4 or -4A. I mean A. And then minus 4.
Right, because you're taking out a negative.
Yeah.
So then again, you can't forget about that too. If you need to draw yourself a little thing to say, like, yeah, don't forget it.
The A plus 4 to minus 4.
What?
A minus 4.
Or,
Yeah, A minus.
yeah, A minus 4. I don't know what I was using.
No, you're looking at it. All right, so that's a good answer. 2, A minus 4. It can also be written as, right, you don't have to do this, but it could be written like this. Yeah. Is that okay? All right, so then what you want to do, I want you to cross out 27 and 28, but you're only going up to 26, 1 to 26. And everything that you're doing, A is going to be 1. On Monday, we're going to deal with A as something besides 1, okay? And then we'll almost be done with factoring. Like, there'll be one other little thing that we'll talk about, okay? And then we'll get back into the book. All right, so I'll get the answers up there.